Yeah, and we're on. All right, folks. It's Monday. It's monster night. It's Bigfoot night. And James was naked. He was showing his Bigfoot a second ago, and
Yeah.
that's why I was thrown off. I'm sorry. I thought he'd be bigger.
That's yeah.
Sorry. So, how's my hair look?
It looks like it's on your head.
All right, so folks, tonight we're talking about is there a difference between a Bigfoot? James, it looks like you're falling down a hill.
Yeah, I kind of am.
It's not bothering me at all. I it's like I can't look away. It's like a
Hold
car accident.
on. Hold on.
It's like this hangout. All right. All right. Well, Ben. You look like you should be on some Sasquatch show.
Thank you.
It can be a compliment, but also it can also
Yeah.
be not a compliment. So,
Yeah.
all right. So tonight I don't know, James a dot now. Is he still there?
Yes, I am here. I'm here.
Okay, great. All right. So tonight is Bigfoot night. Um, any of you know I know the Native Americans believed that Bigfoot was a spirit, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. But the first encounter with a Bigfoot came when a settler came walking along, and we talked about this the last time, Ben, when he thought it was a wild man,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a big hairy dude, and it threw a boulder. Didn't throw a rock. It threw a boulder that scared him and his horse and his ancestors too. To come, if you think about it, I mean, yeah. So why? Yeah, that was one of the first sightings, I believe, known. But there, out of all these shows that I've watched, and I don't watch Finding Bigfoot. I think if anything, that hurt the Bigfoot community in a way. It did,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it turned into Moneymaker could have easily have said, "Guys, I see what you're doing here, and this isn't. You're making me look stupid." You know, uh, and that's something that I guess if you've got money, if they're paying you, let's just say 50 grand an episode, you're like, hey man, it's 50 grand an episode. But in the long run, it does hurt the credibility with him constantly sitting there saying it's a fart in the wind. It must be a Bigfoot. Hey, look, that dove just fell out of the sky. A Bigfoot hit it. I mean, it was just the memes that are out there are too much. Where they had the one girl on the show where she was really smart about it. She wouldn't come out and every second say that's a Bigfoot or that, she'd want to do a little more research, which to me, that was important.
What I remember about that show, and I didn't watch it very much. I just like maybe caught a little bit of it. Was somebody always saying, "I do believe there's a Squatch in these woods."
I believe that was on the entry.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. I remember it from like the entry, but I know I feel like it was like something that they were always trying to like fit in. It's like I think there's a Squatch. There's definitely a Squatch. No, there's a Squatch for sure. Yeah, there's a Squatch. It kind of makes it laughable, and it's hard to take the field of like research for it seriously when people are making a mockery of it.
Yeah. And that's, like I've said it before, when you have guys that say they've caught a Bigfoot and it's in my freezer, I'm not going to show it for a whole year, but I'm going to charge you $10 to look at it. That doesn't help. That just makes you, PT Barnum and Bailey circus stuff for freak shows.
Yeah.
He's just making uh, that guy. I'm sick of constant. Like I get it. Everybody wants to be famous, but you're really doing a disservice to um, people that really want to get to the bottom of this. And if you're just going to make a mockery of it, there was God. I've seen a couple movies. There's one that I watched about 2 years ago that was you knew it was a setup. You knew it was where the guy went chasing through the woods. He was yelling with his cameraman, and then the camera ended up a split second. Uh, it shows a Bigfoot, but it's clearly it was good makeup. Do you know what movie I'm talking about?
Yeah, these two hunters
No.
were talking about seeing a Bigfoot, and one of them is like, get the camera," and they like go like running after it instead of just like trying to film it. I know what you're talking about. It was like a couple of hunters that. No, I'm pretty sure that I know exactly the one that you're referring to. It was
Yeah, but that guy's a known uh, con artist. Like he's been known to constantly uh, put up fake videos, uh, and that doesn't help your resume. If people look at your resume and go, "Hey, he's got a Bigfoot video, let's check it out," but if it's you know if Ben's got five, hey, let's look into Ben, and Ben's got five Bigfoot videos that are all bull, that doesn't. I, you know what? Even if it was a Bigfoot, it would make it that much harder to believe his story.
it's kind of the problem with cryptozoology research overall is just how many people um, try to pull pranks and try to make practical jokes, and it makes it unresearchable. You can't get a serious researcher to look at the evidence in an open-minded light because he gets laughed out of his career, and that's or her career or whoever. And so all these people that are quote unquote doing research, they're not helping things one bit. I mean, even if they do believe in it, as soon as you like put a show on TV called Finding Bigfoot, and it and you're just trying to like make a quick buck off of it, doesn't help the field at all. I mean, if there is an animal out there that's fits this description, then you're not doing its existence any favors by making it so that nobody wants to actually prove it in a realistic fashion.
Well, nobody's going to, spend the money, the resources, if they're just wanting to make a TV show. And even read about the stuff that they've done. There was one where it was a horse. It turned out to be a horse, but they never show that. They just said, "Oh, we just love the way you guys looked." Uh, but it was clearly it was a horse. But the editors, it was like the editors and the producers were at odds with the four people that were uh, Bigfoot hunting. And that's a big problem if you are arguing with your producers, or if you're telling me that this is the shot we need, and I'm saying, hey, so like what kind of shot do you need? Do you want me to go looking for a Bigfoot? And you sit there as a producer and director and say, no, I want you to give me that look like that was a Bigfoot. You're going to sit there and go, I'm not going to do that. That'll make me look stupid.
Yeah.
So then again, it's like, okay, well, we want you to do that. And see, once you agree to those demands, they'll ask you to do more stupid things. And, and by the way, that kid that told you that story, you make sure that that's a Bigfoot, right? Because we want this to continue going. And that show would continue playing if it was more like a National Geographic kind of approach to it, where people actually go out, look, and you know what? Sometimes you don't find anything, but every bloody show is, hey, there he was. It just turns people off, and then at the end of the day, I get it. You want entertainment, but um, it's just going to come back and bite you in the ass. It's like eating all the food in one day. It's like this food's got to last you a whole week. I leave the room, I come back, the food's all gone. And I'm like, well, what happened? Oh, well, we'll get more food. And I'm like, no, you don't get it. Like, that was supposed to last a week, but you ate it all. So everybody's going to think you're a clown. No, you can't be trusted. And that's what's his name? Years ago, he did an interview, and in the 70s, he raised over $3.5 million on uh, Bigfoot research, going out there looking for Bigfoot. Like, you can't raise that type of money. Like, that type of money, that would be like raising 10 million now.
Oh, what was his name? I can't think of his name.
It's not important, but it just, what I'm talking about. He
Is he the guy who went out with the Survivor Man, was like showing him like areas where he thought Bigfoot's were?
No,
Different guy?
No, different guy. He would be much older now. Like, he would be in his 70s or 80s
Grover
now.
Krantz.
I think so.
That was Grover Krantz that did that.
I think so.
Grover Krantz. Oh, he didn't pass away. It wasn't too long. It was a few years ago, but he didn't pass away that long ago. But that sounds like something he would have done, because he's the one that drove around the Pacific Northwest with a rifle and a spotlight, looking for the thing.
I mean, I don't know what he's going to do with a rifle. I mean, it's like something like a rifle would be like a BB gun to one of these things. I mean,
Well, no, not really, because you could, if you take some of these guys that go hunting, if they go hunting moose, they'll
use a 300 Win Mag or a 338.
Yeah,
Win Mag
you'll drop
something.
you could drop an elephant. So, these rifles are incredibly powerful, depending on what you're using. I mean, if you're going squirrel hunting, you're gonna, but if you're going, I would never go Bigfoot hunting. I think that would be disgusting. But if you're out there hunting, and moose,
grizzly bear, anything like that.
Grizzly bear, and that's what you want to eat, then okay, then you're going to use a hot, because the last thing you want to do is get an angry bear.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, plus, I mean, if you were to kill a Bigfoot, I mean, there's going to be repercussions from that. If they have family groups, then that family group is going to react to that. They're not just going to be like, oh, well, somebody like shot them, they go further into the woods. No, you can't imagine that they wouldn't have a reaction to that.
Nah, I don't know, because to me, an orca can easily kill a man, right? And men have treated orcas like crap. We used to hunt them and find them and put them in fish tanks.
Yeah.
And now, if you were to jump I don't advise anybody to jump in the water with an orca, but if you do, the chances of that animal attacking you are very, it'll scare the living crap out of you. But it should not eat you. There is no documented case of a man being eaten. Well,
Oh,
yeah, there is at SeaWorld, but that's
yeah, the
because
only documented
that animal went crazy because of the way it was treated. But
yeah, the only
uh,
documented cases are in captivity of orcas harming humans.
yeah, but out in the wild, there hasn't been. I believe
Yeah,
there's been nobody killed. And now an orca, what is it, like 7 tons? I mean, it's a killer whale. It hunts whales, So um, if you kill a Bigfoot, if that were to ever come across, if you were to do that, yeah, I think it'd be a pretty sick individual to shoot one, and if you do, there's this one guy who he says he shot a Bigfoot, small child of a Bigfoot, and then a small child or something like that. But to me, he seems like a liar.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned like orcas not attacking people because I think it was back in 2020. Check the date on this. Yeah, 2020. There was actually reports of a pod of killer whales attacking sailboats in the Straits of Gibraltar.
Did it kill anybody?
I mean, people were like readying the lifeboats, trying to get out of like at least one of the sailboats to get away from them. Just simply saying that you don't expect an intelligent creature's behavior to change. I don't. I think that if you have an intelligent creature and you inflict harm on it or its family member, I think that it would be logical to assume it's going to react in at least some manner, and it's not going to be one that you may expect. Maybe the reason why we don't hear about Bigfoot attacks is because nobody's actually been able to shoot one. Maybe if we did something like that, it would react in a way that would be way more adverse than you would expect. I
I
mean,
don't know. I can't see, like, with the orcas there. I mean, people have treated them like horrible. But what happened there is, what was it, 2002? Yeah, we see orcas all the time, and we know. I mean, the being out there, you're not going to see a pod of orcas and jump in there like an imbecile. That would be insane to do. I've seen guys jump in with a sperm whale, which is just their clicking alone can kill a man. That's how
I,
powerful those animals are.
I've heard about that where this person was somebody was in the water with a sperm whale and it did its click thing and it shook them like really really bad. It's like
Oh, it could kill you.
it wasn't necessarily trying to like do harm. It was just looking at the person, getting like a better idea of what the person was about. But yeah, it was sonar from those sperm whales is very very strong. I mean, it's I think somebody was saying that it might be like one way that they stun their prey actually is to use that click.
Yeah, they would do that with when they're hunting a giant squid. He'll go out there, and you got to remember a giant squid's hunting in the wild, uh, of course, but it thinks, uh, if you've never seen another sperm whale, you would think you were the biggest thing in the water, biggest predator, right?
Yeah,
So a sperm whale comes along, and yeah, it will nail you with its. It has that sonar, and it does shock a sperm whale. I mean, it does shock a Architeuthis. That's what they're known as. Uh, a giant squid, and then he could grab it, and he's actually eating the squid alive. Uh, uh, so if you ever see these scratches on a sperm whale's face, that is from uh, a giant squid. But that'll be another talk. Um, yeah, well, anytime you're dealing with a wild animal, if an animal, I mean, you've seen video of people where there's tons of bears out, and they're stupid enough to get out of their vehicle and feed a bear. I
Or
mean, it's just
here where I live, go pet a bison. And
they'll hunt bison.
Bison.
oh, pet one. Pet like
People
it's a
actually go
dog,
down
and
like
then
the
you get
far,
cold.
like, Yellowstone, and like they'll try to pet a bison, or they'll, like walk right up to it and try to take a picture of it, or they do that in like the wildlife refuge in the Wichita Mountains in Oklahoma. They just like assume they're just like big cows, and no, it's like they're a little bit more ill tempered than a cow is.
Are you kidding me? I nearly had one kill me when we went to. My daughter thought it was the funniest thing in the world. It nearly went through the fence to get at me. I was trying to be a genius to give it some food. I grabbed some grass, and he didn't enjoy that. He thought I was into one of his cows or something, which in my younger days, I'll admit to it, I would have. But uh, it wasn't
Oh,
2 in the morning, and last call was not announced. So I thought everything was cool. I went too close to the fence, and he he bent the fence to get to me. Like he came very like I was about 3 feet away from him. He hit the fence so hard that it had the whole fence needed to be repaired, and that was
oh.
the power of that animal. I'll never forget. So if people get out of the vehicle to pet, that to me is perfect because I want more people to do that because the dumber you are, the better it is for the species. You know, if you want to win a Darwin Award, where you lose your life for being a complete and utter brain dead moron. Uh, I never understand these people that take a picture. It's comical in a way because you're waiting for them to get killed, but if you instead of looking at them, look at the bison's face, and the bison has a face of, I can't believe this guy is this dumb. Like their eyeball, if you look at the eyeball is, I cannot wait to put my head through this guy's body. Like it's just you're an idiot. So all right, anyways, back to, but it just shows you how stupid people are. Um, yeah, with all these videos of people faking. Let me see if I could share this video here. Hold on a sec, guys. Let me just share. Share file. Come on. Hold on. No, I don't want to, just in case. It was no, that ain't it. I'm not gonna try it. Never mind. Anyways, I wanted to share a video, but I think it's gonna be copywritten because it is a National Geographic one. But yeah, there's just so many people doing these. Uh, Wanted to look up that place, what the place was called, uh, where this guy shot this video, because there's been um, so many people putting fake encounters online. That's what I was trying to put up, just fake encounters, and it's getting to the point of, you know, that part of me. I get it. You want to fool people, but at the end of the day, nobody's going to take you seriously. You fool them once, but after that, people are just going to, oh, it's that guy that makes those fake videos.
And the crappy thing about that, like I was saying, is that you have all these fake videos. I mean, first of all, it makes it difficult, really difficult to like go through all of them trying to find one that's actually genuine, where the person actually did see something and did get it on tape or on photo, because nobody wants to go through the trouble of like trying to sift through all the garbage, trying to find the hidden gem in all of it. But the other part is that if there is a creature of this kind living in Asia or the United States or wherever, because they're all over the place, um, it makes it so that uh, no biologist or respected scientist really wants to get involved. You don't want to like try to look at all these videos and say, "Hey, I think this one is real," and then have the person confess like 6 months later that, oh, it was just like BS. Then because then you know that you are the laughing stock.
Yeah.
But getting on to like the subject of what these things are, or what do you think would be necessary, just as far as like visual proof, not like necessarily like a specimen, but like a proof in like a picture or a video? What do you think would have to be necessary for somebody to believe that it was real and not CGI or faked?
That's the problem. The huge problem
Yeah.
was when the Gimlin picture video video film,
The thingy.
uh, when that was done, that what was that 1967.
Let me look it up real quick.
67 or 68.
Okay, so the most that they could have done back then is make a suit, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And,
Yeah.
like
It would
there,
have been harder to fake it with using clips than it would to actually get an actual video or something.
yeah,
So to
but
do a whole
now,
tutorial, it would have been a guy in a, it would have had to been someone in a suit. So
well,
For the record, it was 1967.
1967. So, okay, that's our go-to because the problem is the CGI. I mean, I watched Godzilla, and I could have sworn it was this monster, walking the earth, this skyscraper of a monster, because the CGI was so perfect in Godzilla, King of the Monsters. So CGI it's a great tool if you're a filmmaker, but a lot of these guys that are faking these videos are uh, they're making their own little, you know, faked film. And if there is somebody out there that has a real film, people are always going to sit there and go, "No,
it's
it's fake."
CGI.
Unless, yeah, it's CGI unless we see a specimen.
Yeah.
And to see a specimen, I forget the guy's name, man, but he said he shot one.
Are you
Do you know what
talking
I'm
about
talking
the
about?
Minnesota Iceman, which gets
No,
thought to be a
no,
Bigfoot? No.
no. Let me just hold on. Let me just talk
Or are
so
you talking about
much.
the one where
They had
or is that the one where he shot one because he didn't know what it was, and he looked and he kind of had a freak out, and then he went to go retrieve the body, and then the body was gone, but there was other footsteps walking away from it while he was hunting. I don't. I remember hearing about that one on a show, but it's been over 10 years since I've heard that one. Was that
there's
the one
another
you're
one.
talking about?
Yeah, hold on. Hickory Man says he has video. Yeah, I think that was the guy, but what was the guy's name though? He was Dead Bigfoot. Montana Man says he shot after being mistaken. Where is he here? Hold on. It doesn't show this guy's face, but this guy. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'm trying to find it. So many. But anyways, this man says he shot a Bigfoot, but to me, he was a sick individual.
Was it Rick Dyer?
Let me look him up.
Something I want to show you all a picture of something from 1968, approximately around the same time that the Gimli film was shot. It's actually from an episode of Star Trek. Let me see if I can do a screen sharing thing just real quick.
Okay.
So let me see this. So this is from 1968. Can y'all see that?
No, we got to share it. I think I'm the only guy that could share it. Where did you find it? What did you type in?
Look up Mugato, Star Trek original series. So this was, but what it is like a guy in a fur suit from 1968, and this would have been sort of approximately what somebody would probably have done if they were trying to make a fake, like a Bigfoot suit, make a hoax of one.
Well, I've also heard sightings where they even described it similar to Harry from Harry and the Hendersons, too.
There's actually a story from way back in the 1800s. What was apparently a juvenile Bigfoot was actually found by the sides of a train track, and they took it and
Right. Does this thing got a horn on its head?
yeah.
Oh God.
So yeah, well, it was Star Trek. But so this was basically a monkey suit that would quote unquote been like more high tech, I guess you could say, or like I don't know if you call it better effects or what, but something like this is probably what you would have seen back in like 1967 if you were talking about making a Bigfoot suit. You would have ended up with something like this, which does not look real at all. So this is what you would be dealing with if you ask somebody to make a fursuit for you. I don't think that Bob Gimli had it in him to pull off a suit that actually looks as real as what you see in the film.
Yeah, that suit there. I know what you're talking about. Where the heck is it? Yeah. It'd be awesome if I could get to it. No, of course not. It's not going to let me. It's because it's not. Yeah, if you look at that suit, it's.
You're talking about the white thing, right?
Yeah. But no, so you have something like that. I mean, if that's was the height of ape suits back then, I don't think that it's possible that they could have made a convincing suit that's full of a lot of like FX experts that have been like interviewed about it, done analysis of it, unless when they said that it's genuine or not fake, that they were just lying. But I don't think that they were.
Yeah, that suit was. The problem is that bloody thing is over 53 years, and we have not come up with anything. Any other video is very Like, where is the Bigfoot? But let me just try something here.
Did it pull up
No,
the Star Trek thing?
no, because it's just it won't. The file won't fake Bigfoot. Okay, so okay, let me just
I
try.
just sent you something real quick, Vito. It's a story about a thing called. It's a story about Jacko the Ape Man. Which happened in 1884 in British Columbia. Um, they found it by the side of the train tracks, and they took it captive. I think it took a turn for the worst, and they were going to send it overseas, but no, maybe it died on the way, and they decided to toss it overseas, but overboard. But they actually had something that described as a hairy man, and this was before gorillas had been discovered. So they were describing
I
something.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Um, they kept in the town for a long time, and he did like stable work or something like that for a long time, and then, like you said, they tried sending him overseas, and he
yeah.
died or something. I don't remember, but
He died on the
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, he died on the way to England. And as they used to do back then, when something on the ship died, they threw it overboard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's really stupid because they did the same thing when they thought they found a sea monster, but it stank so bad. The problem was that it was decomposing.
Yeah, they didn't want to. I mean, they were fishermen. They were used to finding like stuff in their nets all the time. So they cut off a flipper. I don't know what they did with the flipper, but and then they threw the carcass overboard after taking a couple of pictures. They it's generally accepted that that particular find was a decomposing basking shark.
Hold on here. This piece of crap. Yeah, they threw that over because the reek on the thing. I mean,
Yeah.
geez, you could only imagine. I'm trying to open up.
I'm seeing a picture of the actual Mugado just for shits and giggles.
Just block your screen. Click on the icon. Okay, hold on here.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Wow. Okay, this is Ben. Hold on.
Try. Do you have it open in another tab? Go.
No, that's my fault. It's this that I wanted to open. Hold on. I just want to see if it.
Breaking news out of Texas: Bigfoot is real. According to a group of researchers, they call themselves the Sasquatch Genome Project, and they released what they say is proof. Several never-before-seen
No, that ain't it.
clips of the legendary and very shy creature. The group spent 5 years and 500,000.
Hold on. It's got to be here. You piece of crap. Why is it not? Oh, hold on.
No, go to the tab that you want to share.
No, it's not letting me.
Are you just trying to share your screen, or
Yeah, I'm trying to show the. I'm trying to share the. I was trying to share that video.
Patrick, throw that away, please.
Forget it.
which video were you trying to find?
It's on YouTube. It's called Bigfoot Claims 2013 footage. Evidence claimed by researchers in new video.
Well, getting back to the subject at hand, do you feel like, assuming that the anecdotal evidence is mostly correct and the majority of people are actually seeing what they claim to be seen, that that the anecdotal evidence should be accepted as proof, or what do you think?
I'm sorry, say again. I was trying to get this piece of crap James to work here, and say again.
Well, do you think that the amount of anecdotal evidence is proof and that people are actually seeing a large bipedal creature, or do you think that the lack of physical evidence trumps the stories that are being told by people about what they're seeing?
I think the problem is people have been duped so many times that it's getting to the point where you could have a Bigfoot video, where I could have it run through my backyard, and I could tell you, I could take that video. You could believe me because you know me, and I could sit there and say, James, like, I'm telling you, man, that was a Bigfoot. So you could totally believe me because you know me, right?
Right.
But if you don't know me, and there's been so many fakes and so many people have tried to make a buck off of this, that the general public will dismiss it and just go, yeah, it's a Bigfoot. Sure it is. And I think it's a sad state we're living in, because what's sad is there's so many people out there that want to screw it up for the people that actually want to care, that want to, if you see something that disturbing, and it can be, some of the stories are quite disturbing, where, could you sleep again after? I mean, I've heard of stories where hunters have been in the car with their son, and a Bigfoot has picked up the back of the vehicle. Okay. Now he's not busy getting his camera. He's busy protecting his child. See,
Yeah.
where Ben's got. Anyways, is he building a shed or what's he building?
He's playing with magnetic letters.
Is he now? He's very
Yeah.
quiet. He's such a quiet little boy.
Well, he's working on magnetic letters. You tell him to stick to it.
So
Yeah.
the I'm gonna mute you, and then when mute yourself when he's too loud. There you go. Thanks, Ben. So what sucks about it is too many people have made a mockery of it, and people that believe it, when you go and just say you go to the cops and you say you've seen something, they're going to go, yeah. Oh yeah, you saw that, did you? They're not going to take you serious anymore. That's the problem. Where years ago they would have. I think in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, they would have taken you. But when there was tons of people just, there he is, look at the little monster. Look at him, just like a little blonde-headed little. Look, there he. So, anyways, that's my thoughts on hitting children as hard as possible when they act up. You got to kill them. You got to kill them quick. When nobody's, hey Ben, he's back.
Hi,
So-
yeah. So talking
So-
about cops, there's actually a book that came out, I think it was last year, of a cop who did not believe in Bigfoot. And then this older couple kept calling about someone walking around their yard at night. And he actually wrote his experiences into a book. It's called Elkins Creek. And I heard an interview with him on a different podcast I listened to. So,
So, Ben, we were talking about whether anecdotal evidence is enough to prove the existence, or if it just makes it that much more difficult to accept the idea that one of these things exists if you have all these people that are faking it. What do you think? Do you think that anecdotal evidence is solid proof of it, or do you think it's BS unless we actually find an actual specimen or part of a specimen?
anecdotal evidence now does not prove anything, or doesn't get people excited. Especially with like Bigfoot or anything like that, because of how much fake stuff is made out. The Bondega Zoo was anecdotal for a long time, and then they actually had a hide and some bones, and that's all they used to say it's an actual animal.
Jesus Christ, that man, that little boy, isn't he he's as loud. If he would scare the shit out of a Bigfoot. Look, now he's gonna go. Bigfoot's gonna go take care of Littlefoot, and Littlefoot's rear end's gonna be as red as a baboon's ass. And I don't condone hitting kids. I do not condone hitting them, as long as they're not mine. You can do whatever you want.
I condone hitting other people's kids.
I do. It sounds like he's going down Niagara Falls. Is he anywhere near the falls?
No,
The show should be about him. We should just call it Little Bigfoot busting Vito's balls.
yeah,
So
I've got him in the kitchen now. But he's
James brings up a great point where, do you think that, if somebody comes across a real video, do you think that they will just say, no, this isn't real, and that's sad. That I find that sad. Now, excuse me, you two carry on for a sec. I gotta go the little boy's room.
okay.
Don't make any noise. I feel like if a video is genuine, then it will actually stand on its own merit, because I think people still have a sense of what's real and what's fake. But we're moving into an area of technology where it's going to be very easy in the near future to fake something like that. That's going to make it impossible to present video evidence that is accepted. We're not there yet, but we're approaching that point very quickly, where somebody found like an 8mm film from like 30 years ago that somebody was like afraid to show. People would be like, "Oh, that's there's a certain way that real footage looks, the way that light hits it, the way that it feels when you're looking at it, the weight, the way that the body is carried by the limbs, things like that. Just the way that its visual presence is, that you don't get from CGI, no matter how good it is. I mean, there's like parts of like say like the movie Jurassic Park where you can definitely tell the difference between the parts where they're using like the CGI animal versus using actual practical effects. There's like
Yeah.
that. I mean, even though it's like definitely like a fake dinosaur, there's visually a difference between how CGI looks, how light hits it, and things like that. That's why like to this day, the regular Yoda puppet still looks better than the CGI Yoda.
That's
Yeah.
so true. I was talking, Ben. I'm gonna hold on. That's so true. Where um, people want the old Yoda back, the new Yoda
It doesn't look real.
doesn't look real, and
Yeah.
that's this, and that the old Yoda, when he would speak, his ears would wiggle a certain way.
Yeah.
So that, and God, that was made in 1977,
No, that was like 1979, probably.
1979. That's right.
Because the movie came out in 1980. So, but my point about that is that the way that something real looks or something lifelike looks versus something that's like fake or CGI, there's certain ways that things look when they're alive and self-animated that you can't get from uh, from a computer generated production. That's why I'm saying if somebody actually has a video of a Bigfoot or any other unusual creature, the the footage is going to stand on its own and be accepted by people who can tell that it is actually footage of a living, breathing thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's processes you can tell if something's real or not just by putting
Well,
different lines and markers on it.
yeah. Well, I see real. The movie that was out where they were showing fakes, it was also showing these real guys that were going out there that hunted Bigfoot, but did not hunt to kill, like hunt to enjoy, trying to see if there is a creature out there, and they totally believe that there is a creature out there. Um, and uh, they were all a group of characters, all of them. Uh, uh, Out of the, was it called Finding Bigfoot or whatever the heck the show was called? Not Finding Bigfoot, Being Bigfoot. I don't know. Having Sex with Bigfoot, something. Maybe it was one of my exotic thrillers.
Hanging Bigfoot?
What's that? What's it called?
I mean, I don't think it would be called fucking Bigfoot. Maybe banging Bigfoot.
Yeah, something like
No.
that. I think
One
Lena,
was called
what's her
Moaning
name?
for Bigfoot.
Linda Lovelace was in it, and she was never the same after. She couldn't even say Bigfoot after. She would go. So,
Instead of being called Deep Throat, it's called Big Throat.
but yeah, exactly. Or hairy throat. That's good. We just lost the one viewer, and it was probably Linda Lovelace. That sucks. What are the odds?
Making fun of me.
What are the odds?
Come back, Linda. We love you.
So
Didn't she die a few years ago? I feel like she.
yeah, but she lives on in her movies, just like we all do. So I say that because she made a bestiality movie where she was one of the first to do that, and she couldn't say the word dog anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, because she was forced to have intercourse. If you call it intercourse, talk about a confused animal, eh? The dog's like, "What? What do you want me to do? What? You want me to what?" Okay.
I mean, there's so many things I could say to that, but
I know we go on forever about Linda Lovelace and that Harry that. What sucks though, when you look back at all your lovers, you outlived them by 7-1. That's gotta suck.
Yeah. So, moving back to the less risque territory,
Yeah.
do you think that we are living in an age where somebody who's just where they could like actually launch an expedition into one of these places, like a serious expedition funded by somebody who has the money and isn't afraid to like spend it. Maybe one of those like people that got a bunch of like money from GameStop stock and they just want to blow it on something cool to launch an expedition using something unintrusive like drones or something like that. Do you think
Yeah, that would be really, really cool.
that?
But I think, I mean, if I had the money, I would, right? But that's what I mean by about this guy in the 1970s. He was talking about people were willing to spend, gave him 3.1 million back then to go look for a Bigfoot. So, and it was a serious expedition. So these days, if you sit there and go, James, Ben, you're both millionaires, well, multi-millionaires. I would need about 100 million, and we're going to go and look for this thing. Because here's the thing: a friend of mine is Steve O'Shea, who studies Architeuthis, which is giant squid. And for the longest time, scientists knew that there was this giant squid out there, right? They
Yeah.
knew this because whenever they would pull the open up a carcass of a sperm whale, they would find these beaks of a giant. They would sit there and go, the only beak that has this is a an octopus or a squid of some sort, and they would be these giant beaks that the stomach could not digest. So it was only what 2014, 2015 that we got video footage of a giant squid. And that footage is only it was only a couple seconds long, but the scientists that watched that were just they're like that's a giant squid.
That was down near the I don't that was kind of close to Antarctica, but for like it was halfway between like say like Antarctica and uh coast of Africa, like somewhere in that area where um that's where they were doing the research, if I remember correctly. I know the footage that you're talking about and remember that expedition. I was not on it, but I remember reading about it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really cool. I love watching Steve's on I've asked him a million times to come on as a guest, but he's in Australia and the timing is just so different.
I wire him money for a Starbucks if they have Starbucks there.
Do they have a Starbucks in Australia?
They have Starbucks in probably like Siberia. There's probably like a Starbucks. Everybody loves it.
I guarantee, I found the edge of the universe. I came out of a Tim Hortons donut shop, and across the street was a Tim Hortons donut shop. And I just said, this, my friends, is the end of the universe.
Yeah.
Because if I took one step forward, I would disappear from time and space.
But you'd be in a donut shop, so that would make it okay.
Yeah,
So
it would
going back
be.
to
How many curlers can you eat? I mean, I could eat a dozen, no problem. Anyways, um, if people had the money and were willing to put up the money, okay, look at what has gone on with COVID. You look at Venice, uh, and there's been several creatures that have come out of hiding all of a sudden because there's not humans walking around. There's not so they feel safe. It was the first time in Venice that they had this beautiful squid going down the canal that they haven't seen in 50 years because of the boats going back and forth and destroying if you're a jellyfish, the last place you want to be is in a canal full of people. So they thought that creature was gone a long time ago. And then there was uh, a few wild dogs, a few wild kids, and they would have these wild dogs that they haven't seen in years.
I was
So Is there something out there? Yes. With people, when you've got hunters out there, and people have to remember these creatures are not stupid. Okay, they're
I
not going to
mean,
sit there and go, "I'm going to go out there with a guy with a gun in front of him," or anything like that. My theory is they could sense a human 100 miles, miles away.
basically, I mean, I don't know. This is going to sound silly, but I feel like they probably are far more aware of our presence than we give them credit for. I mean, they probably have so much, so many like watch points that they're just like looking out for our presence because they recognize that we are a predator. I mean, we are the biggest predator. I mean, it's like we are responsible for the extinction of entire species. They. I don't think that they want to interact with us because of the fact they, even though they are a lot bigger than us, they also recognize that we are extremely dangerous in large numbers. And I feel like for that reason, they do not reveal themselves to us except in very isolated circumstances where they're just dealing with one of us at a time. Which brings
Yeah,
me to a question that I want to ask y'all. Do you think that it's better for its survival as a species to remain unknown? Or do you think it would be better for its survival if it was acknowledged and was known?
I say unknown.
depends on the country.
I don't think humans have the. I think the species human is a very destructive animal, and I think other animals know that, and they just don't trust humans, and I don't blame them. I
I
wouldn't.
don't
I
either.
wouldn't trust a human.
I feel like anything that humans consider a food or a threat is automatically endangered by us. And I feel like if they were a known species, like a known accepted species, or everybody's just like, oh, there's a Bigfoot and there's a gorilla and there's an orangutan, you know, they would all be way more endangered than if people just thought of them as a quaint myth, like that they could laugh at on YouTube.
Yeah,
But what do you guys think? Ben? What do you think? You think that it depends on the country? You said.
yeah, it depends on the country because, like, in the states here, if it's on the Endangered Species Act, I mean, if they put on the endangered species list, that you can't do anything about it. Just it's there, and you have to manage it so it can be um, what's the word, prosperous. But other than that, it would be better unknown. And then you just have a nice mystery, as Vito likes to say. You have that nice mystery, and who knows, you might run across one while you're out hiking or something. But
Yeah, I always think that's kind of a treat if you do get to see. Here's a video. I'm gonna try and share this, but yeah, I think share video file. No, I don't want to share a video file. Share a screen.
in Washington or Oregon, they actually have Bigfoot protected as a species. I can't remember which state. This one, it's either Washington or Oregon.
I suspect it's probably Washington State.
Yeah, this is one of those two states. I can't remember which one. But, going back to like Bigfoot attacks that you were talking about, James, earlier. There are more recorded hairy man or wild man attacks before 1900 with like
turn yourself down there. There he goes. All right, poor guy.
I'm
Poor
going to
Ben.
step away
See
from
what
the
happens?
conversation for 1 minute because I have to go to little Bigfoot's room. Be right back.
Okay.
All right. I'm just trying to get this video here. Where is it? Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Where is it? Oh, I can't show that one. Where is it? Come on, you piece of crap. Don't tell me I already got rid of it. This sucks. Why, oh why, oh why? I was trying to, let's see if I could share it. So share, okay. Share screen. Share screen. Window or screen to share. YouTube vids. No, man, that's not what I want, you stupid piece of crap. I don't want that. No, I don't want that one either. I don't want that one either. You suck. You, wow. Let's see, where is it?
Oh, something's loading.
No, that
So
ain't
James,
it.
where was I at when you had to take a break there?
We were talking about Washington State or Oregon having protections about Bigfoot.
Oh, and then I started talking about attacks.
Yeah.
So before 1900, there was more wild man or hairy man attacks on settlers, or actually it's 1880s. Before then, before the more modern propellant type cartridges and whatnot, there's like I said, hairy man and wild man attacks. Which, if you look at it, they didn't have the terminology Bigfoot or Sasquatch, which was more even. I don't remember when Sasquatch became mainstream, but a lot of people describe the ape creatures as wild men or hairy men, and you could go even to
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to some older references to like hairy men or like Beowulf, like Vito and I talked about, where Grendel was described as a wild man, and Enkidu from the Epic of Gilgamesh, which that's one of the oldest stories known to man right now, and he's described as, well, what was it? At least at least twice the height of a regular man, and then same with width and covered in hair, and that was Enkidu, and that almost describes a Bigfoot when you think about it. And,
or an Alma or a Yeti or because I mean, people that the thing that people always say that they're mistaking these sightings for bears, but you have these people that have been reporting these things for years and years, and these are people that live in these areas and can tell the difference between a bear walking upright and a Bigfoot. And you have these stories from like Gilgamesh and also like the Native American stories where they're describing these tall, hairy men, and that's back before you actually had words like ape or gorilla or whatnot in the vernacular of the language that people were using to describe it. And the fact that they were describing it specifically as a hairy man, I feel like we really need to listen to these descriptions, because obviously people aren't just seeing a primate, especially when some of the I think there's actually drawings that depict some of these things, and they're actually walking like upright, which isn't what you would see from like a chimpanzee or a gorilla. There definitely
No,
scenes.
you don't.
Sorry, Ben. Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you. I had to clear my throat.
Here's a video that I hope this plays, but this explains why I believe if there are Bigfoot out there, why they would want nothing to do with us, or if they show themselves, why they don't really want to show themselves. Because I
Okay.
think the human species is an incredible, dangerous species. So let's see if this.
It's like I feel like every species generally has a live and let live attitude, except for most people.
Yeah.
It's the greatest tragedy of humanity is that we can't not destroy what we see.
This year. Do you guys see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's play this.
Can't hear it.
He brought up.
Hold on. Can you hear it now?
I was talking to a buddy last night, and he brought up the monolith. Remember the monolith they found in Utah?
Oh yeah, somebody smashed it. Or smashed one of
Yeah.
them.
Anyways, he's convinced that their aliens are trying to contact humans, and I don't think so. I think it's just I explained to him that it's just pretty much an art project, or maybe it's a bunch of people dancing around it naked. Who knows? But built by humans. It's not aliens. Now, do I believe in aliens? Yes, of course I believe in aliens. The universe is, we can't even fathom how big the universe is. The question is, do aliens believe in us? Meaning, just look at the way we treat each other. Look at how. Just look around. Just look at your social media, and look at the crap that's on there. You just go, wow. We are de-evolving. We're not evolving. We're going backwards. And I don't want to leave that for my kids. I don't. So, it made me think. See, when I was a child, my favorite show, was Wild Kingdom. Now, a lot of you don't know that show. Look it up. It was a fun little show. I loved animals. I still do. I remember asking my dad. I would always watch a show with my dad. And I asked him, what is the scariest animal? And I'll never forget what my dad said. My dad surprised me. He was like, I thought he was going to say lion, shark, cobra. He said human. I'll never forget that. Human. No, look at how, look how mighty the lion is, he said to me. He goes, people hunt that animal and for fun, first of all, and decorate their house with that animal's skin. The elephant that could crush a man, we hunt, humans hunt that animal. And what do? We use their teeth for decoration. Venomous snakes, women use them as purses. Their skins, purses and belts, boots. So that always stuck with me. As a child, you don't understand these things, but as you get older, you see the world. You see how how we treat each other, and you just go, yeah, man, this is not good, you know. So, you know, anyways, now, do aliens want anything to do with humans? No. I believe aliens think of humans as the laughing stock of the universe. I mean, they look at the human species and go, there is no other creature out there. We thought the Vorlons were bad, man, but these humans. So, you know, is it funny? Not really, if you think about it. You know. Anyways, do I think these things people are finding a monolith, are they aliens? No, not a chance. They're just a bunch of guys screwing around, or some weird cult. So, anyways, be good to yourselves, and try and stay out of social media. God, if you go on it too long, it's depressing. Anyways, I'm sure social media will take this down because I said that. Going up against the machine. All right, anyways, I'm not on mushrooms or anything, people. So, people are like, oh yeah, this guy's like fried out of his mind. No, I honestly, just think about the way we treat each other. Then you tell me, if you were an alien life form, would you want to make contact with us? All right, anyways, I'm the amazing Vito. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.
So that is why I believe that.
You're not wrong. No, you are absolutely not wrong. I think you're 100% right. Human beings are. We are pretty much 98% dangerous. I think that we, as a species, have some redeeming characteristics, but overall, there's not a thing about us where we instinctively worry about how we treat other species. We just do what we want. I mean, even people that are, like care about animals and whatnot. I feel like it's not like an instinctive thing that they do that. They're doing it because at some point occurred to them that they should. And I feel like our instinct is to wreck and to poison and to overtake, and that's makes us very, very scary. If I was an alien, or if I was a Bigfoot, I wouldn't want to have anything to do with us. I mean, personally, I feel like dolphins are stupid for, saving drowning people.
No, I think they're beautiful for that. I think they're showing that they're better.
I was being flippant.
But you know what I mean? I mean, when you see videos
Yeah.
of a creature helping a human when it doesn't have to, I just think that there is we've all seen where dolphins have helped a human from a shark.
I
And
saw a story about this woman, these divers. They were in the water with the whale.
yeah, I saw that.
And the whale
And kept
started
pushing her.
Yeah, it started pushing her, and the woman was like, "What the hell?" And she realized the whale was really like, "Hey, there's a shark."
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had her. He kept putting her under his giant flipper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shows you a level of
Cognizance.
yeah. But to care about other creatures, I mean, I've had to worry where I've seen a um, a a bunch of a dead raccoon at the side of the road with its babies there, and I didn't want to leave these poor babies there. Um, and then when I called the Humane Society, they just said they're going to die. We don't care.
Oh God.
Yeah, they didn't care.
Yeah.
They were just. But I was out in the boonies, just driving along, and I saw this. Anyways, getting back to Bigfoot, that's my take on it. Where um, the only time they would show themselves or would be if they knew that we would we weren't crazy, and I don't see
Yeah.
that coming
I,
anytime soon.
I feel like if there was certainly like a significant drop off in humans, they probably would get, if not bolder, more curious. I don't know they would be so curious that they would actually travel into our cities, but I mean, what do you think would happen, hypothetically? This is just like pure fanciful speculation that I'm asking you to do. If the human population was reduced by, say, like 80%,
Hmm.
what do you think? How do you think they would act?
They would throw a party.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, um, beyond that, I mean, do you think that they would uh, start like getting like bold, like wandering into areas that are obviously urbanized, like cities, towns, factory
Well,
areas, things like that? Or do you think that they would just avoid it as poison, as a poison dart?
I think unless it was if it went down to 80% and there was only 20%, just say there was 500 million people left on the planet. Now, unless those 500 million were kind or not a threat,
Mm-hmm.
then okay. But if it was still going to be that out of that 500 million people, and 300 million were still violent or showed violent tendency,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they would show. But here's the thing with that. The reason why we've come so far as a species is because we have a violent gene of we attack, we hunt, we eat, we hunt other people that are weaker than us, we take over, we make slaves, and it's gotten to the point that if I said that to you, you would sit there, oh, okay, you're talking about ancient Rome or ancient Persia or ancient whatever. But I'm like, no, that's happening right now.
Oh
Yeah.
no, no. I mean,
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. We are, when I say that we are, what I said earlier, I mean that in like the present tense. We are a threat to life on Earth
Yeah.
in general, and not. I mean, there are specific, like, people that, specific people in specific societies where they're not like that. But in general, what you said is like we kill other animals for fun. What there is no other species that does that. And we are fucking scary.
Yeah. And that's with clothes on. I mean,
Oh, I got a joke for you. So an elephant is walking through the jungle and sees a naked man, and the elephant says to him, "Hey, that's cute, but can you breathe through it?"
or drink water. And I can. All right. I know it's whenever I take a shower, I drown. All right. Well, gentlemen, it's been a blast. What's next week's topic? You pick, James.
uh, Big Bird, Texas.
Big Bird, Texas.
Big Bird of Texas and other strange flying creatures.
Okay.
Okay. You guys hear me, right?
Yeah.
What?
But you're super loud now. And other flying creatures.
Yep.
Okay.
Other flying creatures. Okay.
All right. So, gentlemen, it's been a blast. We got one viewer. They won the PlayStation 5. Once you hold on, let me get it for you. Don't move anywhere. Don't you move, sir or madam, or I don't know, whatever you want to go by.
Oh, Ben, you should friend me on Facebook if you feel like it.
Okay.
They won a brand new
Oh shit.
PlayStation 5 because they've stuck around, and you've won that, sir, madam, or some kid who's bored out of your gore.
I
That
just want to keep the
PlayStation
record.
5 is yours.
I
All
was
I ask you to
record.
pay is the shipping, handling, and the how much the unit cost. All right. So, thanks so much. I will talk to you, gentlemen, during the week, and then we'll meet here for Monster Monday at 8 o'clock next week.
All righty.
All right. Thank
Have a
you.
good evening, gentlemen. Bye bye.
Take care. Thanks for watching.
Talk to you guys later.